Hello, students. I am Gyan from English Magus. Welcome to today's grammar lesson on reported speech. This topic is very important for your exams and everyday conversations. We will understand what reported speech is, look at some rules, simple examples, and practice a lot to make sure you master it. Stay with me until the end for exercises and answers. Let's begin by understanding what reported speech is. In direct speech, we quote the speaker's exact words. We use quotation marks to show what was said. For example, she said, "I am going to the market." In reported speech, also known as indirect speech, we report what someone said without quoting their exact words. We do not use quotation marks, and we often change the tense, pronouns, and time expressions. For example, she said that she was going to the market. Here are some simple rules to follow when changing from direct to reported speech. Rule 1. Change of tense. When the reporting verb, said, told, etc., is in the past tense, the tense of the direct speech is also changed into the past tense. Here's how tenses change in reported speech. Present simple becomes past simple. For example, he said, "I play football," becomes he said that he played football. Present continuous becomes past continuous. For example, she said, "I am cooking," becomes she said that she was cooking. Present perfect becomes past perfect. For example, they said, "We have finished," becomes they said that they had finished. Modal verbs also shift, will becomes would, and can becomes could. But remember, universal truths like, "the earth revolves around the sun," remain unchanged. Rule 2. Change of pronouns. Pronouns also change based on the speaker, listener, and context. For example, in direct speech, she said, "I like this book," will be changed into, she said that she liked that book in the reported or indirect speech. Rule 3. Change of time and place words. Time and place adverbials shift to reflect the reporting time. Now becomes then. Today becomes that day. Here becomes there. Tomorrow becomes the next day. Yesterday becomes the day before or the previous day. For example, he said, "I'll call you tomorrow," becomes he said that he would call me the next day. Let's see how to report different types of sentences. Let's move to statements. To report statements, we connect the reporting verb with the statement using that. Then we adjust the tense, pronouns, and time expressions as needed. Example 1. She said, "I am studying," is reported into, she said that she was studying. Example 2. They said, "We will help you tomorrow," is reported into, they said that they would help me the next day. Now let's practice changing direct statements into reported speech. Here is an exercise for you. Pause the video and write answers in your notebook. As you resume the video, you will see the answers. Do check how many of your answers are correct. Now, let's tackle questions. For yes/no questions, use if or whether. For WH questions, keep the question word but rephrase as a statement. When reporting questions, we use asked. The sentence structure changes, and we don't use question marks or question words like do, does, did. Example 1. She asked, "Are you coming?" is reported into, she asked if I was coming. Example 2. He asked, "Where do you live?" is reported into, he asked where I lived. Now let's practice changing direct questions into reported speech. Here is an exercise for you. Pause the video and write answers in your notebook. As you resume the video, you will see the answers. Do check how many of your answers are correct. Now, let's learn how to report imperative sentences. Imperative sentences express commands, requests, or advice. We use to or not to convey the meaning in reported speech. For commands or requests, we use asked, told, or ordered and the infinitive form of the verb, to plus verb. Here are a few examples. Example 1. He said, "Open the door," is reported into, he told me to open the door. Example 2. She said, "Don't touch the vase," is reported into, she told me not to touch the vase. Now let's practice changing the following imperative sentences into reported speech. Here is an exercise for you. Pause the video and write answers in your notebook. As you resume the video, you will see the answers. Do check how many of your answers are correct. Let's focus on exclamatory sentences now. Exclamatory sentences express emotions like joy, sorrow, or surprise. Use verbs like exclaimed with joy, sorrow, surprise. Here are a few examples. Example 1. She said, "What a beautiful day," is reported into, she exclaimed that it was a beautiful day. Example 2. He said, "How horrible," is reported into, he exclaimed that it was horrible. Now let's practice changing direct exclamatory sentences into reported speech. Here is an exercise for you. Pause the video and write answers in your notebook. As you resume the video, you will see the answers. Do check how many of your answers are correct. Last but not the least, let's learn how to report optative sentences. Optative sentences express wishes or prayers. We usually use wished or prayed in the reported form. Here are a few examples. Example 1, he said, "May you succeed," is reported into, "He prayed that I might succeed." Example 2, she said, "Would that I were rich," is reported into, "She wished that she were rich." Now let's practice changing direct optative sentences into reported speech. Here is an exercise for you. Pause the video and write answers in your notebook. As you resume the video, you will see the answers. Do check how many of your answers are correct. Now, let's consolidate our learning with a mixed exercise. Try converting these sentences to reported speech. Pause the video and write answers in your notebook. As you resume the video, you will see the answers. Do check how many of your answers are correct. Great job, everyone! Today, we learned how to convert different types of sentences into reported speech. Remember, practice is the key to mastering this topic. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more educational content. See you in the next lesson.